The new Chevrolet Aveo is here, and by the looks of things, it's now bigger and it's become more aggressive on the styling front. Just look at that face. The front lights are quite unique and give the Aveo some character, although the rear ones do have something of the aftermarket look about them. Inside the Aveo, it all looks pretty good, although while the plastics feel sort of quite solid, they are a little bit scratchy and gives it a little bit of a cheap feel. I also reckon the interior designer is a bit of a sci-fi fan, because this dash looks like a Cyberman, and if you look just there, you can see R2-D2 sticking his head up. This model is the 1.4 LTZ. It has 100 horsepower and will get the Aveo to 62 in 12.2 seconds, but will go on to a top speed of 108 miles per hour. I've driven the Aveo over 1,000 miles across the UK, and while this engine has a fair amount of poke for both town and on B roads, the engine has to be worked hard at higher speeds, and as such it was sitting at around 36 mpg when I was on the motorway, which isn't great. Handling wise, the Aveo feels pretty decent. It deals with lumps and bumps and imperfections in the road without any problems, and it's got quite a refined ride out on the motorway for a city car. Under cornering though, the Aveo is let down somewhat by a lack of feeling through the steering wheel. You don't really get any feeling as to what the front wheels are doing, which can make you lose a bit of confidence, and also the brakes are a little bit wooden. They don't really have that much progression in them. It's kind of a bit sort of on and off. The stereo in this Aveo has an aux in and a built-in iPod controller system. Hidden away in this top glove box, the panel even has a gap for the cable to run out of. Clever and well thought out. And while I quite like the interior of the Aveo and it's got a good stereo and everything, there's one bit I just don't like, and it's this binnacle here with the speedo and the rev counter. I just don't like it. It's supposedly like the smaller Spark. It's supposedly inspired by motorbike dials, but it just looks a bit cheap and bolted on. I mean, a motorbike dial has to look like that because it's on a motorbike. It has to be small and compact. But we're in a car. Just give it some proper dials. Visibility is pretty decent in the Aveo until you look over your shoulder. While relocating the door handles up there might look cool, it does mean that you have quite a large blind spot in that area, which can be tricky when reversing. When it comes to safety, the Aveo really does come out on top. It got a 5-star Euro NCAP rating and was rated the safest car tested in its class. This is helped by the Aveo being fitted as standard with 6 airbags and lots of acronyms, including EBD, ESC and TC. The Aveo comes with cruise control and also a new feature which is quite useful, which is a speed limit warning system. So I basically just press the limiter button on the steering wheel here and then set the speed that I want it to warn me when I've gone above. So now I've set it to 50 miles per hour. So if I go above 50, let's put my foot down, I should get an audible bong saying, hey, you're going above 50. There we go. And that's something that'd be quite useful for, say, going through roadworks where you've got those average speed cameras that watch you like a hawk. In the back, legroom's pretty decent for a tall person like me anyway. Shorter people find it much more comfortable. And headroom is quite decent as well for a car in this sector. And the boots are pretty decent size too. You've got this parcel area which allows you to stash stuff underneath, but it also allows you to have a flat loading area. So pop the parcel shelf out, fold these seats down flat, and you've got a huge wide load area. And because the Aveo is sort of quite square, you do have a large area to put sort of large, you could get a fridge in there, easy, no problem. The Aveo really has grown up a lot over the previous model, and with prices to undercut its rivals, it should make a tempting offering for those looking for a practical small car. Now, you need not be so disappointed when you go to pick up a rental and the Ford Fiesta or equivalent box you tick turns out to be an Aveo.